Oh, I feel old. Every time I sit, I'm like, I'm doing good.
Si Kirk kasi is Mr. World Philippines 2022 and Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide 2025. Naks, talaga nga naman.
Yeah, and Mr. International now.
And Mr. Talaga.
Pageantry Tuna Superbot 2022.
Talaga nga naman. So how is it when you were modeling here in the Philippines?
I got paid one time 2 years later after a job. That's crazy. Everything has a price and you need to work for it. And when you see me win and all this and that, and I have titles, I had so many failures and losses and dark moments in my life. I don't even know why I'm here. I came back from school and I was probably like maybe 8, 9 years old. And I was in front of my door, had my key in the hand, and I wanted to put it in and go in. And I just thought to myself, I don't want to go in here. I feel like shit.
How long have you been staying here in the Philippines?
God, I think since 2022, around summer, right after the pandemic, I went straight back. But I came around, when I was 16, I came here for 1 year.
Born and raised ka sa Baguio?
Hindi naman, sa Germany, Frankfurt. Oh,
Pero yung sa mother side mo, sa Baguio.
opo. Proud Igorot.
Pero si Kirk kasi is Mr. World Philippines 2022 and Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide 2025. Naks, talaga nga naman dalawang
Correct.
2 titles.
Yeah, and Mr. International now.
And Mr. Talaga.
Pageantry Tuna Superbot 2022.
Talaga nga naman.
Yeah, look at my closet, a lot of sash.
Naks,
Every once in a
okay.
while, I just wear it and just
Pero
feel
nung
good.
bata ka, anong dream mo?
I wanted to be either an astronaut or I watched a lot of Jackie Chan, so a stuntman. Yeah.
So, paano napunta sa modeling, pagiging Mr. International, Super Buds?
I was in Germany. I was studying dual fitness economics and I was working as a personal trainer. And at that time, my brother was already here in the Philippines working as a model, transitioning into show business. So there was always
Anong name ng brother mo?
Kirk Bondad.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, okay, whatever I'm doing here is pretty good. But if I can go to the Philippines and just see if I can connect with the modeling industry. Because the modeling industry is not like all glamorous and all rainbow and sunshine, right? So it was important for me that if I work here, I need to feel it. I need to be connected with my heart because I'm big on sustainability. So I just tried it out and I made good money. I made good friends.
What made you want to stay in the Philippines?
So by then I was in a relationship. I was in a long distance relationship because I was working in Thailand for 16 months.
With a Filipina?
Oppo, yeah. And I realized like money is not the most important thing. And when I came back to the Philippines, it was supposed to be only a short visit because I still had an ongoing contract in Thailand.
Kaso nag-model ka rin sa Thailand?
I was doing MC, modeling, a bunch of things. And at the time, because it was still the pandemic, it was a very good contract, A lot of money was involved. But then I realized coming back to the Philippines, I had this joy. I felt so happy. I felt so, it felt so right to be here that I canceled my contract and said to myself, sige, game ako here.
Na-in-love ka na sa Philippines.
Always,
Anong nagustuhan mo sa Philippines?
this might be so superficial, but coming from Germany, it's the sun.
You love
Just
the
walking
weather.
around, the people, they're so happy. Like when you're in Germany and you're in public transport, I read it, this is a memory that I always have. I was sitting there and I was smiling. I didn't know I was smiling, I just came from the Philippines. And I look at the people in the bus and everybody was so
Serious?
serious. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm the only person who's smiling right now. And it kind of sucked me dry. And I realized this is not the environment where I want to stay in. And don't get me wrong, German people are definitely, if you get closer to them, they're opening up, right? But there's this certain grim that I feel when I'm there that I don't feel when I'm here. And why should I put myself in a position where I feel less happy if I can be here?
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Yeah.
You find Filipinos, like, they're happy people.
Yeah.
They're fun to be with.
Yeah, honestly, like I've met so many people around the world, and the Filipino people are something that it's very giving, you know? It's something that it's, unless you experience with different nations or like people, like the Filipino people is worth staying here in the Philippines. And I have so many friends. They're like, I'm just here for 2 months. Bam, 2 years later, still here.
So how is it when you were modeling here in the Philippines?
It wasn't really a pleasant experience, to be honest. This was more like, I felt like meat because you don't own your look as a model. You go somewhere and you're being casted, for example, and there are 100 other people, phenomenal looking people. And then you go to a go-see. You wait 3 hours in a line, and then it's like 1 minute later, okay, you're gone. You don't hear anybody for a week, and then later, oh, maybe, yeah, okay, we have you for the casting. You go to the casting, same procedure, maybe 20 people. Same people there, like same body type, same facial structure. And then again, next round, 1 week later, final casting. You're like with 6 people, and you're being sit next to each other to maybe your female lead. At that time, you already invested 3-4 days. You don't know what's going to happen because in the time where you're being casted for a project, you cannot accept other castings for a similar brand. And then you're 5 weeks in, and then voila. And then 3 months later, you see a YouTube ad with that brand, with that particular model, and you were like, he got the job. I didn't even get any feedback. So this industry is very hyper competitive. It is an industry that is very uncertain. It's an industry that doesn't give a lot of feedback. So you have to be proactive. And certainly, because I get the question a lot, how to start to be a model? You shouldn't.
Dahil, you shouldn't because...
You shouldn't if that is, I mean, there's certain leadways, right? I can talk about this a lot, but you should have a savings account, you know, and you should also have something on the side. Because again, you don't own your look and your value is being perceived by essentially the client.
Does that affect your self-value, self-worth, self-esteem? Because as a model, you are judged physically.
I feel like if you don't have a thick skin, yeah, definitely it will affect you. Just walk around through the mall or through your phone. If there's just a hand or just a face, a smile, an eye, every person that you see, no matter what it is on an advertisement, no matter how small or big, this is a person who got the job. I see the people who didn't get the job. Unless you consider yourself in the top 1%, 0.1%, you can make a living. So you have to absolutely be super secure in yourself and be a little bit delulu.
Delulu.
Yeah, you have to. Like in the moment where you don't get any money in, and don't even get me started with the late payments here. That's also something, like I got paid one time 2 years later after a job. That's crazy. Imagine going to an office job, right? And then the boss goes like, you did a phenomenal job. We're gonna pay you in 6 months. Like what? That's not fair, but it's common practice here.
So in other modeling jobs in other countries, you're paid on time?
Yeah.
Only in the Philippines.
That's my experience so far.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about models?
People, when you say to them, you're a model, automatically you swim in money. It's not. It's a hustle. It's a real tough hustle. And sure, there's good money, right? But you have to work yourself up, right? There are different levels of being a model. Runway, magazine.
So what type of model are you?
I'm getting booked for everything. So I have that versatility, which I, bless me, because it's not normal.
How did you transition from modeling to joining pageantry?
The past girlfriend of my brother, C. Catriona Gray, it's like, whoa, the pageant industry is big here. Like there's a lot of support and love and things you can do with that. Back in 2022, when I came back from Thailand, I got asked to cast to be Mr. World Philippines. So this was the first time where I was like, okay, let me think this through. because there's a stigma about male pageantry. And then it's like, do I want to do this? Do I want to be affiliated with that? And I'm like, you know what? Screw it, I'll just do it. I go through the process, do the castings, the go-sees, the interviews. And then while I was competing for Century Tuna Superbot, I was declared Mr. World Philippines. But then I was the longest Mr. World Philippines forever because they got postponed.
So how long did you reign as Mr. World Philippines?
I think like 2 years or something or more. And then, of course, I competed there, top 20. This was last year, 2024. Yeah, and then I did here, Mr. Pilipinas Worldwide.
You won.
Yes, I got Miss International Philippines. And then 3 months later, I competed in Thailand for the Mr. International. And that I won.
So you keep winning.
I lose a lot, but it's okay. This is also me just exposing myself to an environment where failure is very prevalent. Like I play with fire. Sometimes you get burned and sometimes, you master the fire. That's what I mean with being the Lulu. Like confidence, what is confidence? Essentially, you have such a strong self-belief in yourself that you assert yourself into situations that you not necessarily know in that moment whether you can deal with it or not. But because you're a little bit Delulu and you have high hopes, you go through it and you somehow fix it while doing it. You figure out the details later. It's never like, oh, I'm going to compete, I'm going to win. Like you have to think of yourself every single time as an underdog, because the moment you think of yourself as somebody, oh, I deserve to win, you get entitled. And that sucks the effort out of you. So if you can, I have a very brutal self-talk to myself, right? But it's important that when you talk to yourself, it shouldn't come from a point of view where like, oh, you deserve better. Everything has a price and you need to work for it. And when you see me win and all this and that, and I have titles, I had so many failures and losses and dark moments in my life. I don't even know why I'm here. Like, honestly, like you say maybe it's luck, but again, if you put yourself enough into a situation, maybe you attract that luck. But when that luck hits you, and because you always kept pushing in the past, you're ready to deal with that situation. And that's me.
So you've been through the darkest moments in your life. What would you say was the darkest?
There was this one moment when I was a child. I came back from school and I was probably like maybe 8, 9 years old. And I was in front of my door, had my key in the hand. And I wanted to put it in and go in. And I just thought to myself, I don't want to go in here. I feel like shit. It didn't feel like a safe place.
What's happening in the house?
It was a very unstable household. My father was working as a purser. That's the cabin crew manager. Top of that, his second job was a taxi driver. And my mother, and I love her. Mom, I love you. Maybe you're watching this, okay? I made peace with that. I made peace with my past. But I feel like my mother was very overwhelmed with the situation and raising 2, 3 children. And also, my mother didn't have the most beautiful childhood. And, like if you have a Filipino mother or father, sure, there's a little bit of palo involved. With us, it was a little bit more intense. Not just physical, but also emotional, because we had a whole dilemma. Again, like I cannot even remember a phase in my life where there wasn't something going on, like very dysfunctional going on in our family. I went from one drama to the second drama, and then the drama overlapped each other. Long story short, my sister, I think she's doing very well right now, but she failed, I think, math or something. She got like a D, and that made basically she failed that year. And my mother said something along the lines that if you fail school, she will do harm to her. And she can. So my sister contacted my grandmother, and through that, child custody came into place. And it exploded to such an extent where I was this child, and as a child, you're not dumb. You're very smart, actually. You see what's happening in the household. Like I don't like it when parents or adults talk something about the child and the child is right there. The child absorbs that. Like, just because you're young doesn't mean you're stupid. And you know that there's manipulation going on. We had like random, visits from the child custody coming to us, checking us for like bite marks or like, hit marks or anything in that regard, giving us interviews. And it's such a weird experience because you're there waiting with your mother and a few days ago she was like super physical with you and you're like there, no, nothing went wrong. I want to say this and I really want to emphasize this. I made peace with my mother because I realized growing up, because there was a lot of resentment.
Towards your mom?
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, so much resentment. But maintaining resentment takes more energy from you than, closing that bridge and actually finding peace with whoever you have skirmish with. And my mother and I, she visited me actually 2 years ago here in the Philippines. And she was sitting at the couch, I was doing something in the kitchen. And out of nowhere, I don't know why, I felt that was the right moment. And I looked to her and I said to her, like, Mom, you do know that you were, I use different language, but you do know that you messed us up as children. And my mother, she went defensive immediately. No, I didn't do that, this and that. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just saying that I forgive you. And for the first time, she teared up. And I realized she carried that weight with her. And I felt like for me to just address it and say, I forgive you, that was something both very healing. Because I can move on, she can move on, And we have a great relationship now. I know my mother loved me. She's not devious, she's not evil, She did her best, but of course, that doesn't justify
what she did,
but
she was also carrying her own childhood pain and trauma.
Exactly, and I feel
that
like
she passed to her kids.
Correct.
Because it never healed.
Correct.
Oh, I read this book. This might help you.
Which one?
It's called What Happened to You.
Oh.
It talks about the childhood.
Okay.
You love the way you were loved. It says there.
Ooh.
And it talks about there that a big part of a person's personality and who they are today is because of what happened to them when they were a child.
For sure. I met a lot of girls who have daddy issues.
Daddy issues?
Yeah.
Are you single right now?
I'm seeing a girl. I'm happy.
You're seeing a girl.
I'm seeing a girl.
Okay.
It's so important for me to see a girl right now because for me getting...
How old are you?
28.
Okay. So now, when it comes to relationship with women, what is one thing that you have learned?
Hear me out, okay? Because
I will hear you out, okay.
This is a strong intro. Every woman is a headache.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Just like men.
Arrest me.
Every man also is a headache.
Arrest me. Every woman is a headache.
Who gives us the headache? Men.
Sure, with daddy issues. But, and this is very important, there will be one headache that you will encounter.
Oh.
That you are just so willing to take on. Because something about that person makes you proud to say to other people, she's my headache. But the fact is, if you truly love a person, a relationship is work.
You're right.
It is work. There's no other way around. I will look at you like, you never fight. Something is off. That's so easy. But that's okay, because you make ways to make it work. And that journey is worth pursuing. For me, I like being not single right now for the fact that it gives me focus. So for me, having a girl right now and just, being steady with that, also investing my time, effort, and energy and money in one girl where I know I can see a future in is so much more sustainable than me gooning around and looking at girls and be like, oh my gosh, maybe I will ask her out. Oh, she looks pretty. And of course, there are pretty girls there, but I have priorities and women are like vices.
Okay, I'll ask you. You've dated other girls that are not just Filipinas, like
Correct.
German, Thais.
Okay, there's a big difference between dating and like just seeing. So dating is only the person that I'm actually interested in having a relationship with.
Oh,
and that I had 3 relationships. That was one German, East Bloc, like Russian, Polish type of girl. Then a half Filipina, half Australian, and now a full Filipina.
So what is the difference of dating a Filipina?
I have a more traditional mindset when it comes to a relationship. I feel like the guy should provide that safe space in a way where he can provide, but also lead the relationship. And I feel like Filipina women are very inclined in that. You know, the more feminine you are, the more I can also express my masculinity, and it's a positive feedback loop.
So ang Filipino women for you are more feminine,
For
in
sure.
touch with their feminine side.
It just means also being emotional, regulated enough that you can have these type of conversations, because men and women, oh my gosh, cancel me for that. They are different. Okay, they are different and we think differently, even with the girl that I'm seeing. That's why I tell her, like, the more you say to me, the more I can respond to that and think about it. Because please, I feel like the biggest issue in a lot of relationships is do not assume that your partner will get you. Because most certainly they will probably miss the mark, you know? You know what, guys, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. There's some truth to that, man.
To communicate.
Yeah, communicate and
Do
just
not
be
assume.
transparent and direct. You know?
That's true.
Never assume that your man will get you. That just doesn't work. Your man is like a car mechanic. It's like the moment he sees a problem, but he doesn't know where the problem is, he will try to fix you. But for you as a woman, most certainly, you just want to dump it out. You just want to say how you feel right now. So it's even okay to say to your man, like, listen, I don't need advice right now. I don't need a solution. I just want to talk to you about that. And a lot of guys will be like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, I get
Right?
what you're saying. Because men like to
Ciao.
give solutions
Yeah.
and fix problems. But sometimes women, when we share our problems, we already know what to do. We just want someone to listen to us.
Correct.
It is the importance of just being a good listener in your presence.
Listen, not to respond.
Yes. How long do you see yourself staying in the Philippines?
All my life, I see myself having a base here.
This is your home base?
Yeah, because this is where I feel, as of now, right now, the most connected. Like I'm half Filipino. Ang bahay ko, ang Philippines. Philippines ang bahay ko.
Ito ang aking tahanan. So, sige, yun na lang. Doon na lang
Sunod.
tayo magtapos. Say this.
What?
Ang puso ko ngayon ay nasa Pilipinas.
Ang puso nuyong
Ko ngayon
kunayong
ay nasa Pilipinas.
ay sa Filipinas. My mother used to speak in Bisaya, Ilocano.
Pag pinapagalitan kayo ng nanay niyo,
Oh
Tagalog?
my gosh. All of them.
Ano?
When she was really mad, Igorot.
Yun na, magtago ka na. Pag igurot na.
Yo, when the Igorot comes, I'm
Run for
running.
your life.
I
Run
don't
for
care.
safety.
I just like, no.
At least sa mga Filipino mothers, talagang consistent sila, no? In celebration of our 5th year anniversary, 5 lucky Toni Talks viewers will each take home an iPhone 17! Make sure nakafollow kayo sa aming social media pages for updates on how to join.